amazingly. And we know you did.
That's not
because
true.
it's all caught on tape.
Yeah,
Every single sentence is caught on tape. Here's what you said. Let's
and
take a look.
obviously you
said, it's not a question. You said to them, send me the names of all these folks who are investigating them. You said to them, send me their names. And I'll take that list and I'll call the person over at education who is investigating them and say, what's going on? Why am I getting these complaints? Then he went on to say, I already have my team working on this. What day should we get together to discuss it again? You made pledge after pledge to them. You said, we've got to make sure this guy who's investigating them stops it. You said, you have my attention. I'm concerned about this. You said, let's go fight these people, meaning the people who were investigating the fraud. Why'd you do it? Why'd you help them?
Are you going to let me answer?
Please, we're all ears.
So first of all, you're cherry-picking quotes out of there.
Why did you help them?
I thought you were going to let me answer.
Why did you help them?
Are you going to let me answer?
Tonight's hearing took a dramatic turn when Senator Josh Hawley looked directly at Keith Ellison and delivered a moment that left the entire room stunned. What started as a routine exchange quickly exploded into a heated confrontation, with Hawley accusing Ellison of fraud right to his face and demanding answers in front of everyone watching. This wasn't political theater. This was a direct challenge, and the tension was impossible to ignore. If you thought Washington hearings were boring, think again, because what happened next turned into one of the most explosive clashes we've seen in a long time.
Senator Hawley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Ellison, let me start with you. You're the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota. Do I have that correct? That's a yes?
Sir, you're aware of my job. You know the answer to that.
You're not going to answer my questions? Are we going to start this way? Are you the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota, yes or no?
You know the answer.
Mr. Ellison, you're in my courtroom now. You're under oath. So I suggest that you answer my questions. You the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the state of Minnesota, yes or no? Let's try another question. Are you familiar with the $9 billion in historic fraud out of your state, including the $250 million in the Feeding Our Future program alone? You familiar with that? Don't turn to the pages in your book to get your potted answers. Are you familiar with it? Yes or no?
Yes, I am familiar with it.
Very familiar, aren't you? Because the people who ran the Feeding Our Futures program came to you in your official office in the state capitol December 11th, 2021, and asked for your help in getting investigators off their backs. They complained to you for upwards of an hour about state investigators going after them, and they begged you to help them, and you agreed to it, amazingly. And we know you did.
That's not
because
true.
it's all caught on tape.
Yeah,
Every single sentence is caught on tape. Here's what you said. Let's take a look.
Obviously,
You said, it's not a question. You said to them, send me the names of all these folks who are investigating them. You said to them, send me their names. And I'll take that list and I'll call the person over at education who is investigating them and say, what's going on? Why am I getting these complaints? Then he went on to say, I already have my team working on this. What day should we get together to discuss it again? You made pledge after pledge to them. You said, we've got to make sure this guy who's investigating them stops it. You said, you have my attention. I'm concerned about this. You said, let's go fight these people, meaning the people who were investigating the fraud. Why'd you do it? Why'd you help them?
Are you going to let me answer?
Please, we're all ears.
So first of all, you're cherry-picking quotes out of there.
Why did you help them?
I thought you were going to let me answer.
Why did you help them?
Are you going to let me answer?
Why did you help
You
them?
let me answer and I'll answer you.
Tell the truth and I'll let you answer.
I will tell the truth.
Good.
Let's do that.
That'd be a nice change. Why'd you help them?
Now see, Mr. Chairman, I didn't come here to be insulted. I came here voluntarily.
You came here for the truth. Let's have it. Why did you help them? The quotes are here. They're in black and white, and every member of this audience can listen to the recording. It's 54 minutes long. It's all in public. You can Google it right now and listen to it.
And listen to it all.
Why'd you help them?
First of all, I didn't help them.
You did help them.
No, I did not. I certainly didn't.
You're saying you didn't do anything for them. You didn't.
Well, wait a minute.
I already have my team working on this again. That's not you?
I have my team assisted with the information that led to the prosecution and conviction of these people.
No, you didn't. You didn't lift a finger to prosecute them. No, you did not. You didn't lift a finger to prosecute them. You had, BS. You had whistleblowers come to you as early as 2019.
You're the one talking BS.
Hey, listen, it's my time.
Doesn't know what you're talking about, sir.
No, sir. You now have encountered the truth and you don't like it. Why'd you take their money? Why'd you take their money?
I didn't.
You took $10,000.
No, that's a false statement.
$10,000 9 days after the meeting.
False statement.
You took $10,000. Here's what happened. They went to your office. They solicited money from you. They solicited help from you.
That's also wrong.
They came to your office. It was your official office. You met with them for 54 minutes.
No, they didn't.
asked you for help. You pledged it to them, and they talked repeatedly about money. In fact, it's all they talked about.
That's a lie.
Money, 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 money. They said, we will put our dollars in the right place. We will support candidates that will fight to protect our interests. You replied, that's right. They said, if you are securing your donor base and securing your power base, you can act the way you want. You replied, money is freedom. They said the amount of money circulating, I'm reading the transcript, the amount of money circulating in our community today is powerful, and we haven't realizing it in a meaningful way. And you said, give me the specifics. And 9 days later, you took $10,000 from people who were then indicted. It's in your reports. Why'd you do it?
Sir,
was it worth it?
You know what? This is a theatrical performance.
10,000. This is the truth. This is what accountability looks like, of which you've had none. You helped fraudsters defraud your state and this government of $9 billion, and you got a fat campaign contribution out of it. You ought to be indicted.
True. Well,
that's the truth.
I think we've made the point. Let's keep the tenor just
for the record.
I'll ask how I want.
He's lying,
Paul.
and that's the truth.
Oh no, this is all on the record,
sir.
Did you bother Did you bother to investigate where the money that you facilitated their fraud for, where it went? Do you know where it went, what it was used for, the fraudulent money? I do, because we just heard testimony about it yesterday.
Because we were key players in the
hundreds of millions of dollars to terrorist groups, to transnational criminal organizations, to the drug trade, to drug trafficking, to child trafficking. And you took $10,000
That's a lie.
And helped them do it. You know, the other thing is, whistleblowers came to you as early as 2019. Let's look. As early as 2019, whistleblower. Don't talk over me.
No,
as early as 2019, it's my hearing, pal. As early as 2019.
Don't call me
whistleblowers came to, well, I should call you prisoner because you ought to be in jail.
Well, we'll see what you can do.
In 2019, whistleblowers came to you in your office and referred to you fraud allegations from Feeding Our Futures, and you blew them off. Listen, your own state newspaper investigated it. The Minnesota Star Tribune, the Partners in Nutrition, brought its concerns to the Attorney General's office in 2018 and in 2019, and you did nothing. You did nothing for years. The only action you took is, once all these fraudsters came to your office and asked you to get involved and offered you money, then you got involved. Then you took the money, and then you got involved.
They did not come to my office. You're completely wrong about that.
You met with them for 54 minutes, and you took $10,000, and they also gave your family money. They gave your family thousands of dollars in campaign contributions in addition to what they gave you.
This is a false statement.
Let's put
this is completely untrue.
The New York Post.
Yeah, we know the New York Post.
Minnesota Keith Ellison, AG, accepted campaign donations from individuals linked to the $250 million COVID fraud scheme after they were in your office. The donations came on December 20th.
Sir,
you met with them on December the 11th, and on January 20th, the FBI knocked over their headquarters.
No.
That's the sequence of events here.
No, it's not.
You've been right at the center of this fraud thing from the beginning, and you've enabled it. And, sir, you should resign.
And, sir, you should resign. I was thinking the same thing about you.
You should resign.
I was thinking the exact same thing about you.
I'm sure after encountering this truth, you are, because it hurts to have accountability, doesn't it?
Because after this parade of lies and presentation, I think you should be ashamed for misrepresentation.
Time has expired. Senator Moreno.
Unexpected next witness. You're expecting somebody on the other side.
Oh, should I go on to Blumenthal?
So let me ask.
Excuse me. I made a mistake. I'm so good it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. If you care about the truth, accountability in government, and leaders who are actually willing to confront corruption head-on, then you're in the right place. Before we dive into this explosive moment, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown of the biggest political showdowns happening in America today. On this channel, we cut through the spin and look directly at what really happened. What unfolded in this hearing was one of those rare moments where politicians stopped playing the usual Washington games and forced a direct confrontation. Senator Josh Hawley came prepared, and what followed was a fiery exchange that left the room completely stunned. Hawley laid out a series of claims and documents right in front of Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, accusing him of misconduct and demanding answers directly to his face. Now, if you've followed Senator Hawley for any amount of time, you already know that he doesn't shy away from controversy. He has built a reputation in Washington as someone willing to challenge both Democrats and establishment Republicans when he believes something doesn't add up. And in this particular hearing, he clearly came in with one goal: expose what he described as a pattern of deception surrounding Ellison's actions. The tension in the room was obvious from the moment Hawley began speaking. He started by laying out the background of the issue, referencing prior investigations, public statements, and what he argued were contradictions between Ellison's claims and the evidence that had surfaced. Hawley essentially framed the entire situation around one central question. If the facts say one thing, why has the public been told something completely different? This is where the exchange became intense. Hawley began presenting documentation and statements that he said directly contradicted Ellison's previous claims. Instead of speaking in generalities, he pointed to specific moments, specific records, and specific decisions made by Ellison's office. The tone shifted immediately from a routine hearing to something much more confrontational. Ellison attempted to push back, arguing that Hawley was mischaracterizing the situation and ignoring context. But Hawley didn't back down. In fact, he leaned even harder into the confrontation, repeating the allegations and demanding clear answers. And this is the part that made the moment so explosive. Hawley accused Ellison directly of misleading the public. Not implying it. Not hinting at it. Saying it outright, while staring directly across the table at him. You could feel the energy in the room change. Lawmakers began talking over each other, staffers were shuffling papers, and the chair had to step in at several points to try to restore order. From my perspective, moments like this reveal something deeper about the current state of American politics. Americans across the country are increasingly frustrated with a system where politicians dodge questions and hide behind carefully crafted talking points. What Hawley did here was force a direct confrontation in front of cameras, where the public could judge the answers for themselves. Now, to be fair, Ellison strongly denied the accusations. He argued that Hawley was twisting facts and turning a complicated legal situation into a political spectacle. That's his side of the story, and people watching will have to decide whether they believe that defense. But what cannot be denied is how aggressive Hawley's approach was. He clearly believed he had enough evidence to justify the accusation, and he was willing to make that argument publicly, knowing full well it would create a political firestorm. Another thing worth noting is how this moment reflects the broader battle happening right now between conservative lawmakers and progressive state officials. Hawley framed the issue not just as a personal accusation against Ellison, but as part of a larger problem of political accountability. He argued that powerful officials should never be shielded from scrutiny simply because of their political position. That message resonates strongly with a lot of Americans who feel like the rules are applied differently depending on who you are and what political party you belong to. As the exchange continued, Hawley pressed repeatedly for direct answers, while Ellison maintained that the allegations were unfounded. The chair eventually stepped in to move the hearing forward, but by that point the damage was already done. The confrontation had gone viral almost immediately. Clips of the exchange began circulating online, and within hours political commentators across the country were debating what had just happened. Supporters of Hawley praised him for confronting what they see as corruption. Critics accused him of grandstanding for political gain. But regardless of where you stand politically, it's hard to deny that this was one of the most intense moments in recent congressional hearings. From a conservative perspective, the bigger issue here is accountability. Government officials wield enormous power, and when questions arise about how that power is used, those questions deserve serious answers. Whether it's a Republican or a Democrat under scrutiny, transparency should never be optional. That's why exchanges like this matter. They force issues into the open. They force explanations. And sometimes they reveal contradictions that otherwise might have remained hidden. The American people are tired of vague responses and bureaucratic runarounds. They want straight answers. And whether you agree with Hawley's approach or not, he certainly didn't allow the conversation to stay comfortable. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Senator Hawley exposed something serious here? Or was this just political theater designed to generate headlines? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because